started. Coco was a big fight from you today. What are your thoughts on your performance?
Yeah, I mean, mentally, I hung in there when I needed to. Playing wise, obviously, there's a lot of things that I can improve on for the next match. But considering the circumstances, I'm happy to be done with today.
Oh, happy belated, by the way.
Thank you.
But just what made today so tricky?
I think definitely the conditions, my second rounds, well, my first round I played night, then the second round I played day where the ball was super jumpy. Yesterday, doubles day was jumpy. And then today, I was expecting day, jumpy, but obviously when I woke up, I was like, okay, it's really cloudy. Thought it would clear up by the time I played, but no. It was super slow today. So I think really I was trying to hit out through the ball, and I think that's where I messed up in the second. I wasn't getting any depth on the ball, so she was just running me around the court. So then I started really hitting the ball, I guess, harder than you would think for it to land deep. And I think that's what made the difference in the match and really just mentally hanging in that fight too.
Jess said when she's back here that at this tournament she'll swap out her rackets a lot for different strings throughout the match. Have you been doing that as well? Or?
No, I know she does that a lot. No, I don't really swap really. Really only in day and night I'll change. Even today, I don't think the tension would have made that much of a difference. Maybe I could have gone a little bit looser now looking back because it was cloudier today. But, yeah, I'm not really a player that focuses too much on the string and everything. I think because I don't have enough experience on that regarding if it's good for me or not. And B, for me, Jess is so level-headed. So for me, it would just be another thing to think about. So I think it's almost good that I don't add that variable to it.
Does a tight match like that against someone who's, I think, a qualifier, how does that set you up mentally as you go into the business end of the tournament with really high-ranked players?
I don't really think about qualifier or lower rank or any of that because you look at the tournament, especially on the men's draw, there was a lot of upsets in the first couple rounds. So it's really just about getting through the matches. And Rebecca, I played her a while ago, and I've been keeping track of her game, since that time I played her, and she's a really good player. She just finaled in Merida, I believe. So I feel like ranking is almost, yes, it matters, but in a way, especially with the way the WTA is, I think it's all about who's in form right now. And I think that, coming off a final, she's pretty in form, so I knew it was going to be a tough match for me. And in these conditions, I think she likes the slower conditions so she can run around and hit her forehands, and that's what she was doing today. But really, I think in these type of matches, you just kind of have to just get through and fight, and I think if it gives me a lot of confidence. I haven't won a third set in a while, so it gives me confidence on that aspect of it.
What is it like when you're down 4-2 and then how you turn it around? How is that mentally? What goes on in?
Yeah, I knew that I was close in the returning games. I think before that I had an opportunity to break. I was up 40-15. So I knew that, if I kept putting pressure, I would get that opportunity again. I just needed to take advantage of it. And, yeah, obviously holding serve was tough for me today, so I, had that pressure. But I was just trying to focus on my service games because I knew that if I kept putting pressure on the return games, she would feel it. And also I think that when you're playing these matches, if you're nervous or you're feeling the pressure, you have to know that your opponent is feeling it the same or even more sometimes. So I think that's kind of what I had in my head, whether that thought is true or not, whether she wasn't feeling the pressure at all. But I think you kind of have to at least trick your mind to think that because in these matches where you feel like you're down and out, you definitely need something to just grab onto, and that's what I needed today.
You said the other day your mom was flying in for your birthday.
Yeah.
And what it's like to have her here and what you've been doing.
Yeah, it was great. Almost thought she was a black cat because we lost in doubles yesterday, and then I was losing today. So I was like, yeah, you're not coming. No, I'm just kidding. But no, she's great. She knows me very well. I think she knows me probably better than anyone. So, and she always has such a positive attitude, and she keeps my dad calm too in the box. I don't think he would have gotten through today if she wasn't sitting next to him. So, yeah, she's like one of those people that just mediate the whole situation, and I'm glad that she was able to make it out.
Coco, you posted that video of you dancing around at Arthur Ashe Day back in the day. How many Arthur Ashe Days do you remember going to as a kid? And do you remember that one specifically?
Yes.
Judson Night?
I remember that one. I don't think I think that was the only Arthur Ashe Kids Day that I went to, but I did go to US Open like for a long time after after that until like started playing the junior tournament. So I think that was the only Kids Day, but I remember that because Call Me Maybe was trending, and I knew that video existed, and I thought that my mom would have it because she keeps track of everything. And then it was really my dad who has it, so that's why we never found the video, because I've never thought to ask him. And like, I don't know, I just love that video, and I just, just the whole full circle moment, dancing, and I even got to participate in Kids Day. So yeah, I just love that video, and Call Me Maybe was like the song at that time, and even now I still love when they play it. So yeah, and I don't know whose number I was trying to get at. I think I was 8 years old, but I'm gonna use that pickup line now.
Years ago, Ashe used to play out here. Your thoughts about Arthur Ashe? No good deal about him, or not so much?
No, yeah, I know a great deal about him and thoughts about him. I think he's definitely not just a pioneer of the sport, but the pioneer of just the culture in general. And doing what he's done and the way he handled himself is something that I look up to a lot, and super grateful. Not only just to kind of play and be in the position where I am, but just be able to play at US Open on Ashe Stadium. And, I never got the opportunity to meet him, but I don't know, I respect a great deal of him and his legacy, and I know that I am a product of that. And for something, that's what I'm forever grateful for.
Coco, you've made quarterfinals or better at like 4 of your 5 events this year, and they're all big events. And that level of consistency for somebody as young as you is quite rare. Can you talk a little bit about what's the difference between the Coco that wasn't posting week in, week out results like this, and what is the key to kind of you being able to reach the second week deep runs, so consistently in 2023?
I think just really learning what to do and what not to do in those moments where it's 30-all or juice or, down a break point. I think just learning, and I'm still learning, but I do think I'm handling those situations better. And also just resetting quickly. A lot of times after losses, I would carry that loss from the previous week into the next week. So I think I'm doing better at resetting and just taking each match and really learning from it instead of dwelling on it. Still got a long way to go. Hopefully, pushing to keep this consistency and keep, hopefully even making finals later and hopefully this tournament for the rest of the season. But yeah, I think that it's definitely tough, especially when, the tour is so, I guess, congested in a way. But I think it really just comes from just the experience that I've gotten to have. I got lucky to have early on, and hopefully I can keep, I guess, improving on that. Thank you.